I don't know if it's only me that's been noticing, but it seems that for the past few months now, a new sex tape is making headlines every other week. Whether it's from a public official, a content creator, or even ordinary citizens, all kinds of compromising footages and images have been exposed to the world at a more frequent rate. Social media seems to amplify these leaks, turning them into viral spectacles that blur the line between curiosity and exploitation. So in this video, we will unpack why this is happening so often, how it affects victims and society, and what steps can be taken to address this growing invasion of privacy. In late November 2024, a prominent government official from Equatorial Guinea named Baltasar Ebang Egonga became the center of a major scandal involving over 400 intimate recordings that were leaked online. Egonga, who held a senior position in the National Financial Investigation Agency, reportedly recorded these videos with various women, including married partners of influential figures, in locations such as hotels and even his office. This scandal emerged during a broader investigation into allegations of corruption. Although the recordings were reportedly consensual, their release caused widespread embarrassment and damage to public trust, leading to his arrest and suspension, as well as calls for stricter ethical standards in the government. A few weeks after the scandal broke nationally and internationally, Egonga's wife's tape would also leak to the public, causing further reactions from people all over the world. In the same month of November 2024, a very beautiful Nigerian student nurse named Yahweh mistakenly shared her private images and videos into her church's WhatsApp group instead of to her boyfriend, who was the church organist. The lady, who many perceived as being beautiful and innocent, shocked the internet public when images and videos of her in compromising positions and situations went viral. The leaks will go on to reveal that she was in the business of selling her nudes to people for money, kind of like hookup. Until she mistakenly posted the contents to the WhatsApp group, nobody knew that she was into that kind of thing. And from there, she just went viral, and so many people have shared her images and videos across multiple social media platforms and the greater internet. In a more recent example, on the 1st of December 2024, the wife of a very popular Nigerian content creator named Egungu came out to claim that someone was trying to blackmail her by leaking nude images of her husband to the public. According to her, she claimed that her husband, who was trying to share some sensitive, compromising images to her, mistakenly went on to share the image to his WhatsApp status, a Snapchat status, and that's how the person just quickly downloaded it and will come back to use it as material to try and blackmail her. But she was not having any of it, so she came out to the public so that she can own their narrative and not fall prey to the demands of these extortionists that wanted to extort her and her family. So eventually, the person went on to leak the images to the public, and it went on to go viral and that kind of thing. Another example is this young lady that is a corn star called Daisy Melanin. For the longest time, social media platforms have never focused on corn stars or people in that kind of industry. But for some reason, in the past few months now, multiple social media platforms like Tunde Not and the rest have been promoting this young lady and acting as if there's something that she's doing that is so special. Yeah, she did something with some men, but there's nothing she has done that has never been done before by other corn stars. But for some reason, she has started to get a lot of attention, which is very unusual and quite immoral because of the effect that it can have on the younger audience of this kind of blogs. Although this particular character is a content creator in the adult industry, the fact that it is now becoming mainstream is why I'm deciding to add her to the list. And within that same period, within like 2 or 3 months, so many other people have also had their leaks exposed on the internet, and it has been going viral. Now, the fact is that this is not the first time this type of things are even happening, because in the past we had people like Tiwa Savage, Oxlade, and even Very Dark Man who have had their compromising footages and images leaked to the public. And if you even go deeper, we have very influential and popular people like Kim Kardashian who have had their compromising footages and images leaked to the public and all of that kind of thing. So there's nothing new. But the only difference is that compared to the past, where it might take years or months before a leak enters into the public sphere, in our present time, it seems as if it's almost every other week somebody's leak is entering into the internet public sphere and all of that kind of thing. Now, one of the major reasons that has added to why these leaks have become more prevalent is because of platforms like Twitter or X, as well as Telegram. These particular platforms are not very big on moderation compared to Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and the rest that are heavily moderated. Platforms like X and Telegram have very low moderation. So as a result, it's possible to post contents that are con-like. So because of that, X as well as Telegram has become the go-to platforms for people that are leaking people's compromising footages or whatever you want to call it. Compared to the past where X was very heavily moderated, it would have been very difficult for all those type of contents to spread there. But now that Elon Musk has bought it and anybody can post anything because of engagement and money, those kind of platforms have made this particular issue to become worse. Now, when it comes to why members of the internet public get excited about these leaks, the fact is that people's natural curiosity plays a role in the widespread viewing and sharing of leaked private recordings. When such contents surface online, many people feel an urge to click and watch. They are driven by human curiosity. A lot of people are intrigued by anything that is considered to be scandalous or controversial, especially when it involves well-known individuals or unusual circumstances, like the case of Egonga, who had 400 compromising footages with different type of people, including influential figures like the president's family member, his own family members, and all kinds of influential people that he had no business having that kind of relationship with. Another reason that drives a lot of people to wanting to consume and interact with this kind of content is the fear of missing out. Social media amplifies the pressure to stay in the loop about trending topics, including things like compromising footages from well-known people as well as ordinary people that would prefer that these leaks don't get into the public. Many times, these leaks are often framed in a way that may seem irresistible, such as the headlines or captions promising shocking or exclusive content. Now, the big question is, why do some people even record themselves in such situations? Why do some people take pictures of themselves when they are nude? And why do they store it, share it, or that kind of thing? From my research, I found out a couple of reasons. And some of them include the fact that people that do this type of thing, some of them have trust in their partners. When people are in love or when people are in relationships, they don't believe that the people that they are having these intimate moments with will actually break their trust in the future. So when they are in these kind of positions, they just record it because one of the partners says they like that kind of thing. Before you know it, they get convinced and they get recorded, and out of trust, they just record it. Another reason is that a couple of people have this desire to see how they look like when they are nude. This particular reason is actually a very common reason why a lot of people have nudes, because they want to see how they look, whether they are adding weight, whether they've lost weight, whether their tummy is big, whether they are bobby or their yansh don't big. So they just take pictures and want to just know whether they look a certain way. And sometimes when they have these pictures, they may decide to share it with others out of that same trust. But it's always the risk that these kind of images can always be leaked to the public. The third reason is that a couple of people have a desire to preserve intimate moments. As I said before, some people just have this desire to just know what they look like, especially in intimate moments as they are having with their partner. They want to be able to just see what they look like. It's a kind of creating their own con videos so that they can see whether they look good in the process or whatever reasons. Everybody have their reasons why they do all kinds of things. But I know that one of the reasons why a couple of people that do this type of things or find themselves in this kind of situations is because they want to know what they look like. They want to be able to have access to these memories. So they record it, store it, and go back and watch it over time for whatever reasons. The final and the most unfortunate reason why a couple of people find themselves in these situations is that some people are recorded without their consent. Some people might be in an intimate relationship with somebody and may not know that their partner may be maliciously recording this particular moment, which is what Tiwa said happened to her. She said that she was just having with her partner, but she did not know that her partner was recording it. Before she knew it, the guy, whether he leaked it or somebody saw the image and leaked it to the public. So that kind of thing can happen. And this kind of reason happens a lot of the time. In fact, that's what Kim Kardashian was claiming happened in her own case. But as time has gone on, the truth has come out to show that she and her mother actually planned the whole compromising footage leakage. Many of the individuals who are brave or naive enough to record themselves believe that their personal videos are safe, when in truth, they really are not. Many individuals trust that the person that they are sharing these moments with will keep them private, or they assume that storing such files on their device or cloud service is actually secure. However, the fact that these contents exist will always put them at risk. And some of the risks include things like hacking. Devices and cloud accounts can always be hacked. Another risk that exists includes the malicious intent of ex-lovers and partners and people that were once close but have now decided to part ways. Trusted partners or ex-partners may decide to leak contents intentionally after a fallout. This type of thing happens a lot in relationships, especially when things have gone sour. Because of the fact that things have gone bad, one person out of anger and vengeance may decide to release the compromising footages of the other person to the public as a way to hurt them and get revenge for whatever reason. The third and final risk that is associated with having such content is accidental sharing. There's always going to be the risk that files can be unintentionally shared or exposed due to technical mistakes. And this is exactly what happened to the young lady that Nosiawe. She was trying to share these compromising footages and images to her boyfriend, but she now mistakenly went on to share it with her church's WhatsApp group. And before she knew it, a couple of people already downloaded it to their storage devices, their phone, computer, and whatever. And before she could even delete everything, it was already too late. And before you knew it, a couple of people that already had these footages went on to leak it to the public. And that's how her compromised footages and images were uploaded to the public, and she no longer had any control to be able to bring it down or do anything about it. Now, I'm sure that many of us are aware that having a person's tape or compromising footage leaked to the public can have serious consequences on a person's life. For victims, some of the consequences include loss of privacy, emotional and psychological trauma, as well as professional and societal consequences. Now, when I said loss of privacy, that one is quite self-explanatory, because once your compromised footages have been leaked to the public, that thing that you have spent all your years trying to protect, which is your private parts, have now been shown to the public, and all kinds of people can do all kinds of things with it. Some people will end up using those images or do all kinds of weird activities. Another consequence is the emotional and psychological trauma from this type of events. It's not everybody that has the psychological power to be able to withstand and come out from this type of situation. When people's tape or compromising footages are leaked to the public, it can have a very powerful emotional and psychological effect on their life. It produces a lot of shame, guilt, and fear, because they know that the public is judging them. It's one thing for people on the internet to be judging you, and it's another thing for your family members and your friends to see these footages and to now be judging you to your face that, why would you do such a thing? Why would you even record it in the first place? As a result, it can cause a lot of shame, guilt, fear, and embarrassment. That Nosiawe lady said that when her father saw the video, he called her and told her that he was very disappointed in her, and that seeing her father say that kind of thing to her really crushed her and made her feel very sad and depressed. But that's one of the consequences that comes with that kind of thing. Sometimes the psychological and emotional impact of this kind of incidents can have a very devastating effect. Like a couple of years ago, where a young American boy decided to take his own life. He shared nude images of himself to somebody on the internet. He was thinking that this young lady that he was sending images was into him. But as time went on, he now realized that he had sent these images to a couple of Nigerian scammers. And these Nigerian scammers started blackmailing him, telling him that if he doesn't bring money, they were going to release these compromising footages and images to the larger internet. So this guy, this young 16-year-old and 17-year-old boy, was so afraid and could not handle it, and he decided to take his own life. As a result, the FBI, through their investigation, that it was some Nigerians that did this kind of thing to him, and they were able to extradite them. Right now, they are in the US prison system and they are paying for their crime. Another consequence of having a person's compromising footage leaked to the public is the professional and societal consequence. Once a person's private recording is leaked to the public, a lot of people might not want to associate with you anymore, because some people have some morality clause. So if you are an artist, you are a celebrity, or you are a normal person, some companies, some organizations will not want to associate with you because they look at you as someone that lacks morals or whatever. And it can have a very, very strong impact on a person's livelihood and other things. So now we have reached the point where we have to discuss about practical tips for people to avoid being caught in this kind of situation. One of the most important things to make sure that you don't ever find yourself in this kind of situation is to avoid filming intimate moments or storing such content in a very unsecure manner. Anything that makes you take a nude picture or film yourself in all these kind of intimate, compromising situations will always put you at risk of it being leaked to the public. The only way to prevent that leak is to just make sure that no footage or image is even recorded in the first place. And for those people that have trust and believe that their partners will not leak their content to the public, sometimes the partner may not be the one that will do it. It could just be that somebody may hack it or see some footages and decide to send it to themselves or whatever. So the only way to avoid such a thing is to make sure that you don't even film it or take any picture. Now, the other aspect is that even if you take pictures, you record yourself, it's very important that you use encrypted storage options, like posting it on the cloud or having some kind of storage device whereby, at least you stand a chance of having it in a more protected space or storage option. Now, I have to discuss the moral implication of consuming this kind of content. A lot of people are always driven to look for news because there's always a curiosity aspect that this famous individual, how do they look like when they are naked? This person that looks innocent, how do they look like? So you just want to see what all the fuss is all about, so that's why you seek out that kind of content. But the problem is that this kind of content are still con-like and they produce emotions and feelings like lust. And if a person already is dealing with con addiction or they are dealing with con, it can make it difficult for them to be able to give up this kind of habit. So right now we've reached a new era where a lot of people are struggling with con addiction. These frequent leaks will make it difficult for those that want to even leave that kind of habit behind, because they've decided to not go to all those sites to go and look for it, but on their social media timeline, on their social media feed, they can't help it because before they go anywhere, they keep seeing all this type of images and videos, and before you know it, they become tempted to even see what all the fuss is all about. And it is con. It is basically con, and before you know it, they get drawn into this habit that they are struggling to stay away from. Now, for those that come across those type of content, it's one thing to see it, click it, and watch it, and it's another thing to actively share it to other people. So my advice to anybody when they come across this kind of content is to just leave it alone. I understand the curiosity to understand what all the fuss is all about, but these are people that are already experiencing shame, guilt, and all those powerful negative emotions. There's no need to even spread it further. I know that even if you don't decide to spread it, you already spread, but you don't have to participate in it by sharing it even further, because karma is a very funny thing. When you actively participate in this type of things, you are setting yourself up to experience something like that in the future. And now goes for those people that actually actively go around looking for leaks and leaking it to the public. There are a lot of people that you see that they are going through rubbish in their life, and you'll be wondering that why is this person going through negative situations, and you might seem as if it is their village people or that they are victims. You will know that they've done all these type of things in the past. As I said before, karma is a very powerful force. You cannot do this type of things and think that it will not come back to you in the future. It's when you least expect that this type of thing will come back to you. So to all those people that are always actively looking for leaks and trying to promote to the public, I feel like it's very unethical, immoral, and sets people up for negative karma in the future. So I think I've reached the end of the video. If you enjoyed what you heard or watched in the video, please drop a like and a comment below. Like the video if you really enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel for more contents related to the psychology of pop culture. My name is Kola. I'll see you on my next videos. Bye for now.